All right. In place of doing the assignment 5 experiment, we're going to do one that comes from our supplement manual. It begins on page 90. The title of the experiment in the lab manual is Diffusion in Agar cells, and cells is in quotation marks. So the first part of what we need to do is we need to cut a piece of agar into 3 cubes, one of them 3 centimeters, one of them 2 centimeters, and one of them 1 centimeters. So I have here a piece of agar, and this is the same substance that was in the one of the prior experiments in the Petri dish. This one is just a big hunk of the same substance. So I have here my metric ruler, and I have a putty knife, and I'm just going to cut it as best I can. And metric side goes down this way. All right, so it is only 2 centimeters deep, so I'm not going to be able to cut one that is exactly a 3 centimeter by 3 centimeter cube, but I can cut one that is 2 by 3. So that's the first one I'm going to cut here. So we have 2 on that side. Maybe 2.3 on that side. So just lay this here. And cut in at the 0 mark. And we'll go 3 centimeters that way also. Cut in. Okay, so this is our big piece. And we're going to call that 3 cubic centimeters, even though I know it's not. And we're going to repeat for a 2 centimeter cube. Measure it this way going first. Okay, put a mark there. And then that's still 2. Go that far. And then 1 centimeter cube. Okay, cut through there. That off, put this back in the bag. Little extra piece back in there. And then this is going to be too tall. So we want to cut this in half again. Put that little bit away. So those are our 3 pieces, the 3 centimeter, 2 centimeter, and 1 centimeter cube. So now would be a good time to figure out the surface area, volume, surface to volume ratio columns for each of the 3 cubes now, and then fill that in on your sheet. Okay, so now that we have our agar cells cut, and I say cells in quotation marks, these chunks are supposed to represent cells. So we have our 400 milliliter beaker, and we have our 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. And the instructions say to pour 200 milliliters of this into the beaker. And I'm wearing gloves because you don't want to get this on your hands or anything else. Side. And now when I place the agar chunks into this, I want to note the time and make sure this experiment only runs for 10 minutes. So in goes number 1, in goes number 2, in goes number 3. And it is exactly 4:10 on my watch. So at 4:20 p.m., I will come back and show you the results. Okay, it has been the required 10 minutes. So now I'm going to fish these pieces back out and drop them on the paper towel. I'm being very careful not to get any sodium hydroxide on me. All right, we're back. It has been the required 10 minutes, and I have taken these out of the sodium hydroxide solution, and I have cut them in half using a spatula. And what we're going to measure now is the depth of diffusion, and we're supposed to measure it in millimeters. So I will start with the smallest one. And it looks to me like the entire centimeter has turned pink. There's no white square in the center. So I'm going to say that the depth of penetration or depth of diffusion, as it was called, is the full 10 millimeters. Then we go next to this piece. And it's the this is our 2 centimeter cube. And the depth of diffusion is, let's say that is 1, 9. Sorry, it's very difficult to do this without being able to put my face close to it. That is 7 millimeters. And now for our large one, it has gone in 5 millimeters. So 10 for the smallest one, 7 millimeters for the next size up, and 5 millimeters for the largest one. So then to get millimeters per minute, we will just divide that number of millimeters by 10 minutes. So 10 millimeters, 10 minutes is 1 millimeter per minute, and so on for the other two.